Alright, now I really don't want my channel to turn into me just randomly talking. I'd really like to go back to me enjoying my hobby, which is, posting gameplay and all that, in the hopes that, some of you enjoy it. I never expected this video that I put up on the 16th to hit the level of views as well as comments that it did. Now, believe it or not, I didn't play Arc Raiders much yesterday because I spent a good chunk of the day going through the comments. I actually recorded a video over an hour long, going through, kind of responding to the comments, thumbs upping them, liking them, pinning one specific extremely well detailed response to the top of the comment section so that everybody could easily find it. Because to me, that was one of the best responses to it in general. Like, it was great. It cited sources. That's a real response. That's a great response. And everybody who took the time out of their day to respond, I just want to say thank you because I may never post that hour-long video that I put up because I'm still getting used to talking, doing my hobby. 90% of my day job is talking. So when I'm home playing games and recording for my hobby, I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to get rid of the stress from the day. So I kind of don't like to talk, but Arc Raiders makes you talk. It helps your survivability in some situations. So with that being said, I want to touch base on two people in particular. Now, a lot of people are great, and I very much appreciate your responses. And, all of you, you know, thank you. But two of these guys need to be called out. I don't know how this one guy up here, that by stroke of luck is the top one, how does this guy have so much free time? He's all in the comments of this, talking to people, semi talking trash, and just questioning shit, or just the way that he comes across. Asking why the fuck did I grind 5 mil? A, with the way that you abbreviated and you're not using capitals, it tells me you're young. B, in the words of Lucci, anybody with an anime, style icon here for your profile, their opinion doesn't really matter much anyway. But this tells me you're young. You're very young. And your mindset to this bothers me. You know, why did I grind 5 mil? The simple answer is because I can. And with the amount of time I have in this game, I need stash space. I need to sell the things that I bring out of a raid. I'm going to accumulate money. And it makes sense now to grind and have money because money doesn't matter towards the expedition. Whereas before, I had to hit that certain mark and not go below it to make sure I got my skill points. Now, every nickel and dime that I earn is mine to do with what I want. I can buy explosives, I can buy ammunition, weapons, attachments, heals. Money matters now, whereas before it really didn't. And also at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you how to enjoy the product you paid for. If you only want to do the bare minimum and not push any further in life, that tells me a lot. If that's what you're doing in game, that's your mindset in real life. You don't go above and beyond. You do the bare minimum of what is expected of you or what you can slide by doing. You don't put forth any extra effort. And I wonder, how do you have all this free time? How lucky are you that you have the free time, probably waiting for the school bus, who knows, to comment all over an internet nobody's, comment section? And that also brings me to my other point here. The beauty of being an internet nobody. I can come at you however the fuck I want. I don't care if I piss you off. I don't have sponsors that I have to worry about. You know, 1-800 buy Raider tokens and blueprints aren't reaching out to me for a sponsorship, which I wouldn't give them anyway. So I can say and do whatever I want as an internet nobody. And this is also going to help me relieve some of the stress from work, because there's things that I can say here that I can't say to people face to face. And that's kind of what you're doing. You know, you're questioning my life choices. Hell, before the second expedition, I had over 18 million. Why? Because I could. I had enough time in the game. I grinded. I was having fun. I was enjoying the product. I play my game the way I want. You're not going to tell me how to play the game. This is my product. I'm not going to come and tell you how to play the game. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot do. I don't follow anybody else's rule book when it comes to my game and my fun. And this was something I had said to people when I used to record for Dead by Daylight. I don't need to follow your Survivor rulebook. I don't need to follow the Killer rulebook, which, for the record, everybody knows, the Killer rulebook is very small. The Survivor rulebook is bigger than a Bible from 1874. It's massive with all their little bits and bobs and what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. The second you start letting other people tell you how to have fun with something you purchased with your hard-earned money, you're doing something wrong. You know, at the end of the day, if you want to come into this game and PvP or PvE or just run around and not do either and just walk around with the guitar or be a medic, you know, not attack any of the Ark, but help people. This game allows us to do whatever we want and find our own fun. That's part of why it is successful. You know, and I was watching another content creator, J Bao the Man, and if I mispronounce some of that, he broke it down the other day in a video. It's 30% PvE dedicated only. 30% PvP, and then there's 40% that do both. I'm in the 40%. Do I enjoy PvE? Yes. Do I enjoy PvP? Yes. I do both. You know, so you're not going to come here and question how much extra I'm willing to do when you're not. You know, if you want to do the bare minimum, that's on you, and that's how you live your life, and that's how you enjoy your game. I'm going to play it my way. So for you, congratulations on all the free time you have. Now, before we get into the second commenter that I'm going to light up, we're going to watch a couple of things. So first here, I'm showing not only my time, but you can also see if you look at the screen, I've knocked out 81 players. There are people playing this game right now as we speak that don't even have 10 knocks. Probably not even 20. One guy in my comment section alone talks about having over 2,000 knocks. My buddy Rival that I play with has an extreme number of knocks. This is not a PvE only number. Yeah, I've got revives too, you know, for random people. But this is not PvE only. Now, I want to go to where I'm talking about the game itself. So let me scroll forward a little bit. I think it was around the 5-ish minute mark. Come to the terms that you are going to lose gear, either by your own stupidity. Slide it back just a little bit. PvE only mode, because they go in and kill people with kits. Whatever. I deal with it. You deal with it. Oh, maybe a little more. This is a pattern that they don't know what they want to do, and they don't figure it out until the last minute, or they can't figure out how they're going to present it to us in a timely manner. To me, that is one of the biggest issues that I currently have with this game. Yeah, you could make the argument, that free kits are an issue because they go in and kill people with kits. This is the point I'm talking about. I deal with it, you deal with it. If you're gonna keep playing this game, come to terms that you're gonna lose gear. It's frustrating, it's irritating. You're never gonna get a PvE only mode, so the threat is always going to be there. So if you're gonna keep playing this game, like I'm gonna keep playing this game, come to the terms that you are going to lose gear, either by your own stupidity or a mic-less rat that sneaks up behind you with a level 1 Stitcher. Now that we've got that out of the way, the bigger issue that I see is that they... So, my point with that, just to reiterate, because this is all going to come full circle when I get to the dude's comment, alright? So, we all have made stupid mistakes and died. We've been shooting at something, falling off a ledge, next thing you know, Raider flare. We all have been there. We make stupid mistakes here and there. In the heat of the moment, we die. We've died by our own hands, been in a bad place, when there's a boatload of wasps and hornets in the swamp, shredder and we can't get to cover. Bottom line is, we are going to lose gear. Now, at no point in time there do I say that I'm a PvE only person. I don't mind it. In solo queue, 90% of the time, that's what I'm doing. I am just running around. I'm trying to interact with people. I'm trying to have fun. I am enjoying the product how I bought it. So, with that little part, then we're going to come to part number 2. Oh, no, you don't. Get the fuck out of here. Unfriendly's gone. So, that guy was hunting PvE players. And since I'm willing and will go into PvP lobbies, I took out the guy that they wouldn't. So, I will protect other people around me given the opportunity. Sometimes it ends like this. Other times it ends with me taking the death and those people get away. I fully accept the PvP part of the game. Do I like it in solo queue? No, because I feel there's too many times when you are locked in an animation, you cannot respond, and you are dead. No matter which way you look at it, you could be searching, a container, and you're getting shot in the ass. And before you can get out of that screen, you're dead. Or you are carrying a field crate for like a trial or a quest. You don't have enough time to drop that item before you are smoked and on the ground. So I tend to not seek PvP when I'm in solo queue. I go for it more when I am in duos. You say I wouldn't push it?
No. He's gonna come back.
No, he was healing right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Where's his
Okay.
buddy?
Yes.
He's
Yes.
dead. Oh, his buddy's still over there.
Where? Where's his buddy?
No. Negative.
Dead. I'm getting lit up by somebody else.
Get back. I don't know where they are.
There's two more. One here. Bro, these guys push off me.
Come on.
And they're pushing
Eat my
us.
ass. Eat my ass. I'm so sorry. Eat my ass. Taste my
Oh,
ass.
fuck yeah.
So there. More PvP. I am willing to do both sides of the coin. And I'm okay with it. Like I said, it's part of the game. I've learned to accept it. And I'm using the gear that I have found and crafted to the best of my ability. So, That doesn't make me better than anybody. It doesn't make me worse than anybody. I am enjoying the product that I paid for the way that I want to. Kind of cycling back to the first guy. Let's go to the second guy's comment. And he's in here somewhere. Let me find this guy. But it's going to show me, it's going to show you all that this guy didn't even bother watching the video. And somebody thumbs it up because, you know, they think alike. So, yes, time for entitled dad gamers to move on to a cozy PvE game. Stardew Valley sounds like a better fit for all of you. In my video, I don't talk anything about PvP and PvE outside of that little snippet. Talking about how you lose gear. I don't say I'm for it. I don't say I'm against it. This motherfucker didn't even bother watching the video. And you want to chime in and make a stupid ass comment, not seeing any of the context, not seeing any of the points that I brought up. Almost all these other ones are good, valid points. Some with, you know, pining for older days, like the PS2 and PS3 era. Enjoying how games used to be. And talking how the game could improve, their point of view on it. And you have asshats like this motherfucker who just come in without watching the fucking video and just put a stupid comment on. Now see, that I feel is one of the biggest problems in this world nowadays. People are so quick to either read a title or to just put their 2 cents in without knowing a fucking thing, without doing any research, without looking at a damn thing. They're just going to chime in like they know it all and pop in some type of, you know, insult or put their 2 cents in. If you listen to my video and you actually fucking watched it, my pain points are the lack of fucking transparency from the developers and waiting till the last minute to give us the details. And kind of saying how this is the 3rd time they've done it to us. The netcode. And the bugs and glitches in the game. Those are the 3 problems I bring up in my fucking video. That if you would have taken the time to watch and hear, you would know it has nothing to do with PvE. It has nothing to do with me saying that's what I prefer, that's what I would love to do, and only that. But you giant piece of shit just come in and throw your 2 cents in without taking any type of time to listen to what is being put in front of you. Like, I don't know how busy your life is, but you obviously had enough time in your day to come in and post your bullshit and move on to the next fucking person that you're doing it to. So, you obviously have no life. Similar to the first guy, you've got all this fucking free time to be able to go around and shitpost on the fucking internet, knowing that generally there's not going to be anybody saying anything to you. There's nothing that comes back of it. Now, a lot of times, I'll either A, delete comments like this, B, I'll respond back to it in a snarky fucking way, and I'll leave it there to see if that person responds. 10 times out of 10, that person does not come back and respond. You know, they don't give a shit. They're there acting like they're something special. You're not. Congratulations, you played yourself. You don't matter, just like I don't matter. You know, I want to give you a key focus in life. Outside of very few people, nobody gives a fuck about you or your opinion. And that's the same with me. I know outside of a few key people, nobody gives a fuck about what I think. Nobody cares whether I'm living or breathing outside of my few close friends and family. And that's the way I like it. I know who matters in my life. I know who matters, who doesn't. And pieces of shit like you that want to just go ahead and post bullshit and put your 2 fucking cents in, you don't matter to me. And I'm really willing to think that you might be some person with a silver spoon, so you might, who knows, be important to people because you may have something. But you know what? You're not important to me. both you and the other person who made your bullshit statements and, went all through the comment section of my video, you don't matter. Newsflash, next to none of us actually matter in the grand scheme of things. We're all only here for a little bit of time. So whenever you're making a statement or you're trying to, interact, maybe take the time to get the details. Maybe actually listen to the content and watch and absorb what you're putting your worthless 2 fucking cents on. When you say entitled, let's look at entitled. Having a rightful claim to something, or in modern pejorative sense, believing oneself is inherently deserving of special privileges. Now, I'm not trying to be entitled, but if we want to use it like this, I paid money for the fucking game. And you know what I'm entitled to? A product that works. You may not understand the value of $1 and how hard it is for people to make money. It also tells me you haven't struggled. The world has not fucked you hard enough. But people like me, who have been at their lowest multiple times and had to crawl their way back up, understand the value of a fucking dollar. And I'm grateful that the Lord has put me in a place where I have the ability to have spare money to be able to purchase products. Video games are a product. Vehicles are a product. Hobbies involve money. Those are products. And what I'm entitled to as a consumer is a product that functions. With my hard-earned money, if it isn't gone for bills, food, clothes for my children, the extra expendable money that I have, which I work for, unlike some people on the platform, I am not trying to get to a point where I have enough subscribers to be monetized. I don't care if I wake up in 3 days and this account has 2,000 subscribers on it. I will never monetize the account because then I have to worry about YouTube being able to censor what I say. So people like me who work their ass off to earn money, when we can spend it on something extra for our enjoyment, be it any type of hobby, we expect the product that we buy to fucking work. Which you would understand if you've ever had to struggle and you've ever had to come up with the ability to take care of yourself as well as people around you. So my spare money, when I buy a product, I want the fullest I can get from that product. I am entitled to a product that works. With a game like this, that's a life service game, that's going to constantly change. You know what I also feel I'm entitled to? Timely updates. I'm entitled to a game that works. I'm entitled to a game that has very few bugs. Like, I'm willing to let a few little bugs here and there slide. I'm not willing to let massive ones that have continued for months to go without being said. Let me put this to you in another way. If your mother bought a vibrator and she put the batteries in it and twisted the end and it didn't start buzzing, does she still have a product that she can use? Technically, yes. But she bought a vibrator that doesn't vibrate. She's entitled for that buzzing feature. She wants that high, medium, and jackhammer. She's not getting it. Or if, let's say, she went with an extra fancy one to get the pleasure that she isn't getting from your dad that may or may not be in the picture. And it has an app. Next thing you know, they decide, well, the app doesn't make money. This isn't selling. The app goes away. She loses the pulse feature and other things that she rightfully paid for. She's no longer getting it. She bought a product. She's entitled to have that product work in the way that it was described on the box, to have all the features that are on the box. See, some of the problem is that nowadays video game developers can put out a product that is inherently broken, and they have the luxury of being able to fix it over time. And shit like that pisses off people like me. We work our asses off for our money. We want shit to work. We want to be respected for buying that product and being there day in and day out, playing and supporting that product. We don't want to be treated like a second-class citizen after you've got our money, because we are the ones that keep your game afloat. There's only so many people that will buy the game during the hype, and it's the dad gamers that are entitled to enjoying the product that they bought with their hard-earned fucking money that keep games afloat. We will be the ones that buy the cosmetics, that buy DLC. Not pieces of shit that just come in, say their little 2 cents and disappear. You don't have expendable income. You're not in that beautiful place. You've got time to sit around on the iPhone that mommy and daddy got you and just be snarky on fucking YouTube comments on somebody that you think doesn't give a shit. Granted, I don't give a shit about you. But every so often, people need to not worry, and they need to call assholes like this out for being an asshole. You think that just because you're anonymous online, you shouldn't be called out when you're out of line. You're out of line. See, some of the problem with society is people are so quick to comment, and other people are not afraid because they haven't been punched in the face. You didn't grow up in the era that some of us did. You know, in public face-to-face, we think about these things. We make sure whether or not we need to have an altercation, we're prepared for it. You didn't get bullied in school. You didn't have to fight. You're just some weak little shit that thinks they're special. And newsflash, bud, you're not. You're definitely not. But you are special to me right now because you are allowing me to vent a lot of the frustrations that I can't get out face to face. So for that, I'm going to say thank you for being a dickhead. You know, and I really hope you grow as a person and do better. Because right now, if this is how you act on the internet, I'm sure you are either a timid fuck that doesn't say jack shit in person, or you are an insufferable piece of shit to everyone around you that doesn't benefit you. Because you could also be that type where you're just a manipulator. If somebody serves a purpose to you, you take care of them and treat them right. If they don't, you treat them like they're a piece of garbage. Not everybody needs to be treated like garbage. You know, there's this thing called common decency, common courtesy. A lot of your common things just don't exist as much anymore in this world. We don't have common sense, common decency, and common courtesy. Now, this makes me feel a whole lot better just ranting for a little bit. But I pray somebody teaches you common courtesy. Because I'll tell you this, in my day-to-day life, dealing with people face-to-face, handling their problems, a little common courtesy goes a long way. It helps build rapport, it brings customers back in, and it makes your experience a little bit better. So for you too, in my comment section, grow up. Better yourself. And find something to fill your time. You need a hobby. Maybe you come do this. You apply yourself to YouTube and see if you could be a much better content creator than others on the platform. Find some way of improving yourself and making yourself a better human. I'll catch you later.